What is going on, wrestling fans? It is I, Seaful, and welcome to the show on today's edition. First, before we can continue, Hail Contra, we are talking to the MLW World Women's Featherweight Champion. It's Janai. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I am doing super. Thank you for asking. But man, being part of MLW, being part of one of the faces of MLW has got to feel good because right now, MLW is not just taking a few steps forward, it's taking leaps and bounds forward. How do you feel about that?
It feels really, really good to be part of something that is just like now it's a new era basically that is starting here. And it feels really good to be part of that. The locker room's great. The talent is amazing if you look at that roster from top to bottom. So, yeah, I'm pretty hyped about it.
It's incredible to see because for so long it felt like MLW was moving along to everybody else, but now it is going to be in Tampa on July 12th, MLW Blood and Thunder. Like before, for a long time, it was Central Philly, and Philly is a great wrestling town, but traveling, like the discussions of having MLW travel for its programming, how do you feel about that? Because this is a huge, again, like I brought up, a huge step forward in business, making more money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. I know that they've traveled a little bit before in the past, but now they're back at it, back on the road. And I'm excited to be a part of that and to see the fans already from like going to Tampa before and to Chicago recently. It's great to see like how much support MLW really has, and those fans really stuck with MLW throughout the year. So it feels great to be part of this and to see new faces, to meet new fans. And Atlanta was great too that we just had recently.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool to be part of something like that, and just to be part of something that is growing to something like new.
And then I saw even on MLW's Twitter account, it's pinned to their account right now, or X as we're calling it, the new era video package playing. And again, this new era, can you describe the direction that you've maybe been told, or maybe what MLW executives and ownership has spoken to you about the next steps? Because this new era, obviously, if you're going to start calling it like that, that means something is changing, and obviously business is booming. So have you been in discussion of the actual, I guess, creative plans for MLW going forward?
Not too deep, I don't really know, but from what I've seen so far, with like Contra Unit is growing, as you can see. We're bringing in new faces and new opponents. Like for me, for example, I've been having a lot of new opponents recently who want to step up for the title, and so it's just going to be a lot more of that coming through.
All right. And then with MLW or actually any company, do you have a contract that says you are, hours? Because other wrestlers sign contracts, they're exclusives, but they can go work at other brands that don't have, say, television deals. What is your status on your contract?
I did not sign a contract, so I'm still a free agent. So with MLW, I just go along with them, go on tour, and it's been great. So yeah, nothing locked down.
Okay.
At all.
Okay. Are you looking to be locked down ever?
We'll see where my career goes. I usually go with the flow, I like to say.
Yeah. Oh, totally understandable. Because many wrestlers either love the idea of traveling to different places across the world, and with you traveling across everywhere, it seems. Where is the strangest place though you've ever wrestled?
The strangest place I've ever wrestled. I've only ran into like a few strange places when I was only in Florida, nowhere else. But Florida has just like the weirdest, strangest places thanks to wrestling, because some of those wrestling shows that were running over there, they really picked some interesting spots to run. Like there was one spot where it was basically in a barn. I don't know, but it was a barn, and then like there was like another building next to it that had a bunch of like booths and whatnot. I didn't know what was going on. I thought it was some sort of festival, but I think it's just something that's there all the time. So it was just like one of those weird spots, out of
What
nowhere.
kind of booths? What are they selling in these booths?
I didn't really look because I was just like, it was just crazy all over the place. I saw like animals. I did see food, but like it was just like one of those things where it was just random. Like people come through and would just have like random things that they're selling. So I didn't really stop because I was just like going to the show and then going to the bathroom to change. Like that was a locker room. Like you had to leave where the show was at, go to the other building to the bathroom to change.
Oh my.
Yeah.
And so you're in Florida. What month is this?
This was, gosh. This is like several years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I cannot remember. I mean, it's hot all around, so you can't really tell.
Yeah, of course. I'm just wondering, like, wait a minute. What are you talking about, like, July wrestling outside in Florida instead of a barn that clearly wasn't air conditioned, right?
It definitely had to be around spring, summer. It was in between there.
Okay, so you weren't melting completely?
No, not completely.
I've heard some crazy stories. Well, people like Bobby Fish told me he was in Japan in December in a U-Haul truck changing with little heaters keeping them warm.
No.
He told me that he wasn't warm from those heaters.
It doesn't sound like a good time.
No. The two stories I've heard, the strangest places ever. Jake the Snake Roberts told me he wrestled in a cockfighting ring. Like and during the intermission, they gave away a shotgun.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, so did they give ammo too? And he's like, no. I was like, oh, well, that's good. He's like, yeah, it was a baby thing. I was safe. I was like, okay. And the headbangers, Mosh and Thrasher, told me once that they were in Kentucky and they were going down this hill, so they couldn't see the building up here. So they come up and there's this big white building on the side. It said, "Long live the KKK."
No.
And they were like, "Oh my God, what are we doing here?"
Yeah, I would immediately try and leave. I would not stay there for a second.
You know, they were wrestling and they were in their skirts, and apparently people weren't too fond of them wearing skirts where they were, and all hell broke loose and a riot broke out and they escaped. So yeah, it seems like your barn
it doesn't really compare to that, but hey, it could have been one of those places. I don't know.
I don't think you want to wrestle in the place described. I don't think that is one of the things you ever want to do. So right now in wrestling, though, it seems like every company is working with another company. We've had AEW with New Japan and Stardom. Now WWE is working with TNA. We did see Billy Corgan and Drew McIntyre recently have a handshake in Scotland, which led people to believe could NWA be working with the WWE. Noah, you've been in Tokyo Joshi Pro. Where do you think MLW, because I know there's plenty of organizations like Defy and Progress, that MLW could reach across the table and be like, hey, we should do more business together, because if we work together, there's more opportunity and, again, more money. Is there someone out there that MLW really think could work with well together?
Well, all I know is they've been working with CMLL wrestlers very closely, so I wouldn't be stunned if they did a lot more with them than they already do. But as far as anywhere else, I mean, hey, anything could happen. Again, this is a new whole like gen like coming through with MLW, a new era. And so we could really see some like new, like cool possibilities blooming.
I can't wait to see that, because there was a lawsuit, and then lots of money came into MLW, and then MLW now has this new era growing at extreme rates. So obviously the cash flow is there to help them get their leggings and grow even further. So when you think of that, I think MLW, and I know I talked to Brian Idle the other day, who's a big part of NWA, his executive backstage, and he is wide open for NWA to work with people. And I think NWA and MLW would be what a great relationship that would be.
Yeah.
Because Natalia Markova, to me, is one of those like no one gives the flowers to her. And I'm so shocked sometimes, because I'm like, she's so good. Why are you ignoring this? Do you feel like that sometimes that happens? There's like a level where you're at and people are like, yeah, you're great, but like, I don't think there's always levels to keep going. And with NWA and her and you yourself, do you feel like there's pressure on some of you to like, there's like a batch of you who haven't gone to say sign to AEW or sign to WWE? but like everyone's waiting for that moment. Are you waiting for that moment, or do you feel like it's gonna come no matter what?
I feel like it happens for everybody eventually. Everyone has like that different path, and I'm just like, again, going with the flow and working on myself. So if I'm in a certain place right now, like for example MLW, I'm going to work on myself there and, you know, kind of see myself bloom there as well. They've been a really big hand with like helping me with character, teaching me more about TV, how to work the cameras, so many things that I've learned since being there. So I'm very grateful for that. So if anything, that can prepare me for something else, you know? So I'm all about, again, going with the flow, working on myself, taking my time. I don't really think too much about, dang, like, when am I going to be over here? Like I used to, like in the earlier years, but now I'm kind of seeing like, oh, okay, this is my own little journey happening here. Like even when I went to Japan a few times, I'm like, okay, this is happening in my own way. So I'm just going to let it happen that way.
Okay, that makes complete sense. And so who's working with you in MLW to help you develop those skills of more character development and promos and things like that? Who's helping you?
So Jesus Rodriguez has helped me a ton with that, especially with like the camera work and everything. He's known me since I stepped in the ring. So he definitely knows like how I am, what my character is, what I'm like shooting for here. So he'll help me out in any sort of way when it comes to it. So he's really been a big hand with my character, backstage segments, everything.
That's awesome to hear. Because yeah, there's just so many athletes out there are looking for how to go the next step. So many people can wrestle, but who are you? And you obviously are the kick demon. And when you see photos of you, like the person I'm talking to right now is not the person that I see wrestling or in those photos. Describe to me that switch. Is there a song? Is there a mantra? Is there something that gets you into the next level to become the kick demon?
You know, I've been like thinking how I really turn that on, and I just get in the zone right away. I really, you know, when it comes to wrestling, like it's just my thing. It's my vibe. I'm like, okay, yes, I get to kick some ass today. You know, it's like I just turn into demon mode, like, you know. So like, and everyone always points that out to me because like they don't really see that, of course, when I'm like normal Janai, you know, outside of the ring and all of that. But it literally turns on right when I'm like in that specific environment. So
Wow.
that's basically how it goes down for me.
All right, I didn't know if there was some, Mick Foley used to listen to
No.
some like weird, sad song that would make him go crazy and turn into
Nah, I
mankind.
don't. Nah, I don't listen to anything.
All right, all right. I didn't know suddenly we'd see all these new downloads on Spotify for other people to become kick demons. Like, wow, that's
No,
strange.
I'm sorry.
No, hey, I'm glad we can't transform everyone into be a crazy person. No, but really, it's always a pleasure talking to you as well because with MLW, again, MLW Blood and Thunder is coming up. And then recently, you had a huge event. It's going to air June 22nd. And Paul Walter Hauser. Celebrities in wrestling seem to be a new norm. And for a long time, it was, Shaq in AEW or Mike Tyson in the WWE. Paul Walter Hauser choosing, because he could easily choose WWE, AEW, because he's appeared on both. But now choosing MLW, choosing other organizations. Are you surprised to see that more outside eyeballs are interested in the wrestling business than just showing up for the big ones? They're showing up for every single one.
Yeah, I'm actually a little surprised because it was even one of the rappers. Oh, the woman. She's a woman rapper. She showed up at I think Skaban is the Japanese. I forgot which one. I'm sorry, guys.
No, I know. I know what you're talking about too. I can give her name. Yes.
Yeah, she showed up there. So it's just so random, right? Like they're showing up as like even with these like smaller like indie shows and stuff and wanting to be involved. So it's pretty cool because we are part of like the entertainment industry in some sort of way as well. And it's cool that to see like celebrities kind of discovering it in that way and wanting to be a part of it. So yeah, I'm all for that. Like definitely. I mean, why not, bring in like the actors, the rappers, it's all art too at the end of the day. So I'm all for that. I love it, and I want to see more of it.
Is there a celebrity you want to get your hands on in the ring? Is there someone that you think could show up and you could wrestle?
Oh, that's a good question there. I don't know. Like,
I need names.
If I could think of a name real quick. Oh, you know what? I want to see like someone like Gwen Stefani or somebody get involved. Yeah. Dude, have you seen her today? She still got it. She still got it. And she looks like she can kick some ass. So I want to see her in the ring or something, you know?
Oh, man. Gwen Stefani in MLW against you for the featherweight championship? Dude, sign me up. See, you're laughing, but at the same time, I don't think that's not in reality anymore. Before, maybe like, what's funny? We're talking about, but it just seems like now, people wrestling right now in every organization is booming. There's no wrestling. It's wrestling. It's completely changed.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre to see ESPN and CBS and large organizations all jumping into the wrestling world, because for so long the nose wrestling, like, it's completely different. Like you brought up, it's entertainment. And have you noticed that difference as well for you? At least, have you noticed that there's someone when say, oh, what do you do? You're like, I'm a wrestler. They never go, oh. It's always like, oh.
Yeah, it's always like that. Like, oh, like WWE, like the TV, like, I'm like, yep, it's exactly like that. And then they start asking all the questions. I always get that.
Right. And so when you first started, and then you would say it to people, what were their reactions?
They would question, like, because they couldn't tell if I was still in high school or if, you know, they'll start assuming that I do like the amateur style wrestling like in high school. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. So when are your meets, or like where are your meets and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, they're already thinking that I do that wrestling. So I start like answering in a way where they start realizing that this is not the wrestling that we're talking about here. And then like once I kind of tell them, they're like, oh, okay. And then they have like more questions, of course. But right. When I first started, it was kind of like one of those type of situations.
And then recently, too, with MLW, the secret that no one found out until it happened. Mark Henry and Teddy Long showing up in MLW. Now, I talked to Jesse Yang about this, and we talked about it where nobody knew, and also nobody spilled the beans. Because usually in wrestling, it's, oh my God, someone's backstage, or oh my God, this is happening. What did you know about this? Because the situation was so secret. So when it was revealed, everyone was mind blown.
No, I had no idea. I had no idea till I got there. So yeah, like when I went out to the ring to check it out as they're setting up, I just looked to my left and I see Mark Henry. I'm like, oh, he's here today. Like after the news that just came out about like him leaving AEW and all that, I was like, oh, so he's here. Okay, all right, kind of makes sense. We'll see where this goes. So yeah, like it's crazy too with like surprises like that. So, and with Teddy, yeah, I mean, I saw him later on. I was like, what is going on? Because I thought like they were about to be part of this rumble that was going to happen later or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. It's cool though too.
But is it shocking to you that no one, because that story didn't come out like that, Mark Henry and Teddy Long being there, so you knew at a time that before the event even started.
Yeah, technically, yeah, before, not before the actual show day or anything.
Right. But you're there, and easily, not just you, but everyone could have easily grabbed their phones and just been like,
yeah,
well, you don't use your burner. You don't have to use your real account, but you know, you can text someone or someone.
You know what? I was waiting for some news site or somebody to be like, Mark Henry backstage at MLW. I was waiting for someone to post that. So yeah, because it does happen. But no one said anything.
Was there a sign on the wall that said "Shut up, don't text this"?
No, there was nothing. There was nothing that said that.
Dedication to the secret was there without everyone having to explain to keep it a secret.
Yeah.
Interesting, because and You know, every time you see a wrestling event before it even starts, it's like so and so's backstage.
Yeah, it gets out quick,
Ruined
very
that
quick.
surprise for me. Like I went
Yeah, basically.
to Las Vegas for AEW Double or Nothing, and
Mhm.
thank God I wasn't on my phone. But when Gangrel popped up and saved it, you know, Adam Copeland Edge from Malachi Black, I was like, oh my God, this is fucking
Yeah.
great. Versus if I knew 3 hours ago that I opened my phone and it was Gangrel is here in Las Vegas, he's been spotted at the airport. Well, obviously, you put two and two together. This Mark Henry thing was mind blowing. And do you foresee more Mark Henry, more Teddy Long? Is there something going on there?
I would love to see more of it because, like, how can you involve them in like the match? What was it with Alex Kane? And like if you have them involved in something like that, I would definitely see them coming in more, like input, like even coming in as like some sort of producer, like backstage, or just like helping out more of the guys. Even like I would like to see it more. I don't know how they feel about it, but you can't just have them come one time like that and like, you know.
True. Did you speak with Mark at all?
No, I didn't get to.
No.
You know what? I was shocked with how busy I was in Atlanta. Like, literally, people were calling me from left and right, so I didn't really have time to say anything.
Well, maybe next time he'll give you some
Yeah.
different advice. But
Yeah.
again, I cannot wait to see what happens with you and MLW again. July 12th, we have MLW Blood and Thunder in Tampa. So hopefully, you know, as we know, MLW is not going to put you inside of a barn with booths that are selling questionable items. That I'm kind
Right.
of I can't get out of my brain of like, wait a minute, were they selling like fruit? Were they, you know, handmade jewelry?
It was so long ago. Like, it was like my third match, so I can really remember.
Yeah. I don't know. I understand. But Janai, thank you so much for talking about MLW and your career. What else do you have coming up that you'd like to promote?
Oh, good question. There's like so much that has happened already, and now I'm just preparing for July. I know I have ETU, which is Expect the Unexpected in New Jersey next month, and I'll be wrestling Rachel Armstrong, who is, yeah, she is so good, and like she's sort of new, but like she's really shining right now. So I'm really looking forward to that match. But I've been really busy with like my personal life too. So like the schedule is getting stacked a little bit more. I know I'm going back to Corpus Christi for GCWA and I'm wrestling Maya World, another bright shining star. She like both of them, like Rachel Armstrong and Maya World, I can see them really going somewhere. So I'm excited to wrestle the both of them.
Awesome. Well, I cannot wait to see what happens next for you. Again, thank you so much for being here. I'm Steve Fall. She's Janai Kai. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.